Thank you to DistroKid for sponsoring this video and supporting my channel. Okay, so we're approaching the summertime, so I thought it'd be appropriate to make some sort of like summer vibes, reggaeton type beat, so that is exactly what we're doing today. All right, so jumping into Studio One, I have my tempo set at 92. Anywhere around this kind of BPM will work, but I have mine set at 92. Now, as far as the key goes, I don't know yet. I have it set at the default C for now. We'll figure that out a little bit later, but the first thing that I wanna do is start out with my drums. Now, when it comes to the drums in reggaeton, you do have some variances, but for the most part, you do have that same drum cadence of doom, doom, doom. So let's start there. Okay, so let's start off with this kick here. Now, in older, more traditional style reggaeton, you used to have a deep tom kick on the 1, followed by a thumpier kick on the 2, and that pattern would just repeat. In more modern reggaeton, what I'm noticing is that usually now there's only one kick that's played in a 4 to the floor pattern, so basically on every beat. Now, you can choose whatever you wanna do. I like both styles. However, for this beat, I am gonna do a more modern approach. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place a kick on the 1, on the 2, and then just copy and paste that for the duration of my loop. So now we have this. Okay, from there, let's move on down to the snare. Now for this, I am going to be using my Beatmaker's toolbar, link down below. But here's a little trick to make sure that your snares in reggaeton are always where they need to be. Again, I am using my Beatmaker's toolbar, but let's go over to snares and claps. I am on impact, and what you wanna do is you wanna place your snare on the 2 and the 4. Now, once you're here, what you wanna do is you wanna highlight all of these, and mind you, we're on a 16th note grid. It won't work anywhere else. 16th notes is where you need to be. But select all of them, and then drag them back 1. From here, highlight all of your notes and then count up 3 spaces. Again, on a 16th note grid, this is very important. Count up 3 spaces from where your first note starts. So for me, this is my first note. I'm gonna count up 3. 1, 2, 3. Place your play bar or your playhead here and then hit copy and paste. Now, you should have something like this. Now this essentially creates the fundamental reggaeton cadence, but as you might have noticed, that snare does not go. So I'm gonna change it. I do think I have one that'll fit better down here. That one will do. So I'm gonna highlight them all and then just drag them down. Okay, doing that, now we should have something like this. Okay, from here, let's go ahead and add what's called an accent snare, and I already have one loaded up here. This is going to come in basically before every other snare hit. So this is my first one. I'm gonna place one here, and then another one here, and then I'm gonna duplicate this. So now we got this. Now you can play around with this accent snare. You could just do every other. So I could just delete these and then have something like this. Or the opposite could be true. I could do this. For this beat, I'm gonna keep it consistent. So again, finally, the last thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna add a hi-hat. So I'm gonna open this up. I'm gonna be using my Beatmaker's toolbar again. So hats, I am on sample 1 this time. And then we're gonna do 1/8 notes. Now from here, I'm going to select every other note, reverse the selection, and then lower the velocity to 50%. And again, this is all on the Beatmaker's toolbar. So then now we should have something like this. Lower the volume a little. Perfect, so I think at this point we pretty much have the drums. Let's move up now to the melody. Hey there, before we continue with this beat, I wanted to take a minute and thank the sponsor for this video, DistroKid. DistroKid is a digital distributor, and with plans starting at $20 a year for unlimited uploads, it is by far the easiest and most affordable way to release your music to all streaming platforms. One of my favorite things about DistroKid is how easy they make it to not only distribute your music, but also market it. If we head over to my personal account here, you can see all of the beat EPs that I've released so far, but if we head over to the top right menu, we can drop down this goodies tab and check out some of their marketing tools. Now, there are plenty, but I wanna point your attention to the playlist spotlight tool under the Get Heard Now subcategory. This feature is totally free, and it basically allows you to have one of your songs featured on one of DistroKid's Spotify playlists by getting people to vote on it via a shareable link. When you click on this, you will get presented with a page where you can vote for other tracks from different artists and even DM them if you really like their work. As mentioned though, on the top right, you can opt to submit your own music, and DistroKid actually has a few playlists with large followings, so definitely take advantage of this. It doesn't stop there though. If you go under the Promote Yourself subcategory, here you will find a bunch of other free and fun ways to promote your music. I've talked about Hyperfollow before, which is basically a free landing page to share your releases and acquire emails from fans, but you also have the ability to make mini videos that you can then share on social media and even memes. If you guys have seen that meme with Baby Yoda in The Mandalorian where he turns off his music in the ship, well, that's from here. DistroKid created that meme and you can recreate it right here with your own music. Another one of my favorites is their promo cards, which you can then use to share your releases on social media the moment they drop. Last but not least, if you're interested in major label opportunities, they also have another free service called Upstream, which basically allows you to opt in and have labels reach out to you if they love your music. At the moment, they do have Republic Records on board with more labels coming soon. If you're looking to release your own music, say maybe your own beat tapes, then click the first link in the description to get 7% off your first year. Thank you so much to DistroKid for sponsoring this video, and now let's get back to the music. Okay, so I really don't know what I want to do here, but my immediate inclination is to pick up the guitar, so let's start there. Okay, so I have my guitar loaded up here, and I am running it through the Archetype Corey Wong VST, which I've talked about before. I'm running it through a preset called Companion Pass, and to spice it up a little bit more, I'm cutting off everything above 2000 Hertz and sending it to a Hall verb, which happens to be the Valhalla Vintage Verb. Amazing reverb, cannot recommend this enough. Anyway, with all that, my guitar now basically sounds like this. Okay, let's see what we can come up with. Woo! Oh my God, let's record that. Okay, so this is the guitar. Now I actually ended up going back and re-recording it simply because I changed one of the slides. Instead of going, I went, which kind of gave it a darker tone, which sounds really good, so check it out. Now from here, we basically have the melody line and the drums. The next thing we need to do is we need to figure out what chords can go with this melody line. Now I don't usually work like this. I like to create my chords first and then write a melody line on top of that. I find that it's easier to create music this way. This is kind of a backwards approach to me, but it's not impossible. So let's figure this out. Okay, so let's figure this out. I'm basically playing an A to a C, and then I'm sliding on this new variation that I created from the C to the D, and then from a B to an A. So, now the slides are basically just flourishes, but we do keep coming back to this A. This A is home, and as a matter of fact, the A and the C are the root and the third of the A minor chord, so more likely than not, we're in the scale of A minor, and our first and prominent chord is going to be that A minor. Now, depending on how I want to space these chords out will determine the progression. I want to keep it kind of mellow, so I'm thinking of maybe placing them at the beginning of every measure. So basically, chord, 2, 3, 4, chord, 2, 3, 4. You get the idea. Now, if I were to place a chord exactly there, following whatever I played on the melody line, it would be just an A minor over and over again, because at the beginning of every measure, we play that A on the top line. And if we do play that A minor over and over again, it would get really, really boring. So what I'm thinking is, because I want to space them out, maybe the first two chords, I keep it safe, I keep it at home, and we play that A minor. But then from there, we leave home, and I do want to go down, so maybe play an F major. And then keeping that in the same, obviously, scale, we go up to a G major, and then back to home. Let's test it out. That definitely works. Okay, so I basically have my chord progression, but I don't want to play it on guitar. I want to play it on something else, like some sort of synth or what have you. So let's take a look and see what we can find. Okay, so I found this pad that has a really nice sound from the CZV VST in the Arturia plugin, but it basically sounds like this. And I sent it to a hall verb just to kind of give it a little bit more ambiance. Now on my Atom here, I am gonna go to instrument, scale only mode. I am in a minor scale, and then I am using A. So now we should have A minor, we go down to the F, and then to the G. So let's record that. Okay, and then from here, I'm just gonna use one of my macros from the toolbar, quantize perfect notes. And then we're gonna set the velocity to 100, and we should get this. Perfect, so from here we need that bounce, that reggaeton bounce, and usually that's created by adding stabs of some sort on the upbeat, so da, 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 da. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, so I found this Pluck in Anna 2. By the way, if you have the Slate All Access bundle, they just upgraded their Anna to the Anna 2 Ultra bundle. It just has a bunch more sounds, but this sounds really cool. Check it out. I think this will work. Okay, and from here again, I'm gonna go over to my editor window, my piano roll, velocity 100, quantize to 1/8. Okay, so from here, I kind of want to layer this Pluck with something a little bit more, I guess, stabby might be the word, I don't know. But from here, what we're gonna do is right click on this because I want to use Anna 2 again. Duplicate track complete, so you get a whole new VST. From here, let's open up that second instance of Anna 2, and we should already be on the Plucks category because we copied it from the last Pluck. We are in their new Ultra bundle, so let's just go ahead and audition some of these. Let me solo this out first. Matter of fact, let's play it with the original. So original, new. Now, honestly, any of these could work because they all sound great, but I am gonna go with this one, I think. Yeah, so it adds a little bit of that extra top end kind of sizzle. Original, and then... And if we play that together with everything else... Okay, last but not least, we need some sort of bass line to kind of bring this all home, and I am gonna use my bass guitar once again, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I have my bass loaded up here, and as you can see, I do have a bit of processing going on, because originally, and it wasn't bad, but it sounded like this. Now what I did was I added an EQ to carve out some highs and lows just to make it a little bit more concentrated, and then I added the UAD voice of God, which is basically like a bass enhancer, and now it sounds like this. Now for this, what we're basically gonna do is we're gonna play the bass note, the root note of every chord that we play. So in our case, that would be an A, an F, and then a G. Super simple, let's record that. But there you have it, that is essentially the beat. Now, I obviously still gotta finish mixing it, and now that I'm looking at it, I probably will double that guitar lead, pan them left and right to create a bigger sound, but essentially, this is the beat. Take a listen. But that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of this beat in the comment down below. I will also be listing everything that I used to make this beat today down in the description for your convenience. Once again, thank you so much to DistroKid for sponsoring this video. And as always, like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you're not already, but I'll see you on the next one.